Under the sun, the fields are alive. Cheering crowds and the teams collide. In these moments, we stand tall and free. Flourish pride, it runs deep in me. With every touchdown, we rise and we cheer. Unity and spirit, the heart of the year. Raging voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zone to go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. Girls in the game, they're fierce and bright. Flag in hand, they give it their might. From every town they bring their dreams. On this field of gold, nothing's as it seems. Together we shine, together we play. In Florida's heart, we own this day. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zones go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. So here's to the game, we'll rise and stand. In Florida's field, real daddy band.
All right, it's time for the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz, and I gotta see. Happy World Tsunami Awareness Day, according to Chris.
And that is a very important issue.
Yes, it is. Even though we don't get tsunamis here in Florida, there's other places that do.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz here. I'm Josh Wilson. That's Christopher Like over there on the other side. And yes, Japan does get a lot of tsunamis, Emery. Mark Gannon says, I'm being told by a Blitz lurker that Hastings is in the Menendez district. That is absolutely 1,000% correcto mundo. And Granddad owned a potato farm. See? I know what I'm talking about. There used to be a Hastings High School. It closed many, many moons ago. They used to be called the Spudsters, by the way. So one of their mascots. They had a couple mascots, but the Spudsters was one of them. So definitely indeed. Anyways, we're here for the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz here, and a lot to get to, a lot to talk about here, and everything. And Tsunami Sam is the mascot for the Fort Myers Greenway. Okay. All right. Tsunami Sam. Yeah. Absolutely. Yay for the Blitz. Hey, Tyler Kelly, good to see you on. Thank you so much for joining us here. And let's go ahead and get into the Blitz Lines here. Coming up, we'll have Will Dettor from the Florida High School 7v7 Association joining us here for the interview to talk about what's coming up. And y'all will learn more about what the FH7v7 is about. The only 7v7 I will actually even follow, because there's a reason why I follow it. There's a reason why I keep track of it. Keep this kind of eye on it. You'll find out more why here coming up here in just a few minutes here. Mm-hmm. Chris, first game that we had on our picks from last week, the recapping what was week number 11, Santa Fe and Weeki Wachee, and 17-0. Santa Fe wins, moves to 7-3 on the season. Weeki Wachee drops to 7-3, and not only bolstered Santa Fe's position for a playoff spot, Weeki Wachee any chance of maybe sliding in the back door over there in Class 3A Region 2. Well, that just went. The brakes have just been pumped on that.
Yeah, you never know though.
Never know with these FHSAA power rankings. I can tell you that right now. Trinity Capital, Trinity Catholic Newberry. Hats off to Newberry there. Hats off to Reno's team. Newberry gets their 5th win of the season, and I think that win more than enough secured the number 7 seed, pushing Astronaut out the door, I believe, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. Newberry got a good chance to make the playoffs, so we'll see how that takes shape. They're right on the edge of that thing, though.
No, you're absolutely right. Forest and Vanguard. Forest didn't win this game, but it was closer than what it's been in most recent years. But Vanguard gets their 8th win of the season. Forest drops to 6-4. Forest on the cusp of a potential playoff berth, but Vanguard in as a district champ. Calvary Christian and South Sumter. Well, Reno took this right. I believe you took South Sumter here, Chris. I got it, South Sumter. I thought maybe you took Calvary, but South Sumter is what I got written here. And I took South Sumter, and well, yeah, that was the no, not a round of applause. Wrong answer. Congrats to Reno's team Newberry. How's he been? He's been crazy busy. Crazy busy. We miss Reno around here. I can tell you that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Absolutely. Buholtz and Cardinal Newman. Well, Chris, sorry to say that was a you got Cardinal Newman and I Buholtz, but it was close. I will tell you, 34-30. That was a long hike for Buholtz. Go down the turnpike, get that win, and they Buholtz finished this regular season 9-1. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be a top seeded team in their region in 6A.
Yeah, that game really showed some character for Buholtz in that game. So we'll see how.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this one, in this last game, Bulls in Columbia, that was definitely. Oh man! Just when I thought, you know what, that's it. I'm not picking Columbia again the rest of the season. Hunter Williams, if you're on here, I don't know where you're at, but I'm not picking Columbia again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
having too much fun with that sound effect. Why not the nice great sound horn?
This is what's good about having a mixer board that actually I can plug in sound effects. I can do whatever I want with it, basically. And, yeah. Truth be told,
oh boy,
I can't with y'all. Man,
I heard Reno in talked about Sister Act 3.
What? What?
Just kidding.
Oh man. All right. Well, that wraps it up for the Blitz Lines here on the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk to Will Dettor of the Florida High School 7v7 Association about everything 7v7. We're going to talk to him in just a moment here. Stay tuned. You're watching the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz here on FloHSFootball.com. We'll be back right after this.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, there's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with a free ScoreStream mobile app. Download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Get ready for the 2026 Coach of the Year Clinics. This February and March, see top collegiate coaches, learn from the best, and take your program to the next level. Don't miss America's most respected coaching clinics.
All right, welcome back here to the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz here on FlooridaHSFootball.com, and excited to bring this guest on, going for him for a very long time. The head of the Florida High School 7v7 Association, that is Will Dettor there. And Will, appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule here and everything. And it is the opening of the 2026 off season. I know also for the season for Florida High School 7v7 Association. The window started opening on Monday. And Will, welcome to the show here, man. And just first give everybody who may not understand what the Florida High School 7v7 Association is about. Kind of just give everybody, what an understanding of what y'all do for the teams in this state.
Yeah, well, first of all, Josh, thank you very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure to get to visit with you and talk some 7-on-7 and talk some high school football. So this is an exciting time, exciting week in the high school football world, and so thanks for putting me on. For those that don't know, the Florida High School 7v7 Association was started. Actually, we're going into our 12th season this year. So we offer 7-on-7 opportunities for high school players and their coaches at their high schools to participate and practice in the off season, play 7-on-7 against each other, and come to our tournaments, and as well as participate in the annual state championship tournament that we host every year at the end of, usually it's in the summer, in June down at the Villages, which I know you've come to many times and covered for us. But yeah, we are fully compliant with the FHSAA and their off-season rules. And so as a high school, you can join our association. Your players can join. You can practice as much, throw a ball in the off-season and compete, as well as just get better at your skill work and get ready for the fall. And the beauty of what we do is all of our teams are, like I said, they play for their school and play for their coaches that they're going to play with in the fall. It's not travel 7-on-7. It's not all-star 7-on-7. It's you playing with your coaches and your teammates, running your plays and your schemes to get ready for the fall. And so, we've been fortunate. Like I said, this is our 12th year. We finished up last year with over 150 high schools across the state of Florida that participated with us and joined our association. And we're looking forward to another great year this year.
No, absolutely here. And with that said here, one of the things is, with the social media, you can follow the Florida High School 7v7 Association, FHS 7v7A, especially on X. And one of the things I noticed that, during the season, you post this graphic often, how the member teams have done here during the season. And I've noticed here this year, it's been about around 70% or a little over 70% each week, the member schools that, participated last year, with winning ball games. I mean, and that number's gone up over the last few years where the teams are just starting to, do you feel like that correlation where the teams are being able to, their guys are able to practice with each other versus, because, people ridicule the all-star side of 7v7. I mean, do you feel like there's been that trajectory growth there based upon the numbers that we're seeing here?
I really do. I really think so. I mean, I don't want, nor any of my staff want to take credit for getting these players or these teams better. It's just we offer a platform that that the schools can take advantage of, and the teams and the coaches themselves who pour into these kids, and the time that these kids can put in with their teammates in the off season using our platform. I do think it's helped. You're right. We have averaged over 70% winning percentage each week of this season. And I'm really excited to wait for tomorrow to see how many of our teams get in to the playoffs. Last year we had 70. And I think that number will be right around the same or possibly bigger this year. But I think, we have a lot of repeat teams. I mean, a lot of teams that have been with us now for multiple years in a row, even through multiple maybe head coaching changes. And I think over the years, they've really found ways to maximize the membership and being part of the association and getting the most out of it, whether it be, how they set up their practice schedules, maybe how many I've seen an uptick over the last couple of years in teams getting together and scheduling games with, informal games with other member teams, as well as, of course, our regional tournaments that we put on in February, March, and April. They are filling up faster and faster each year, and we're having waiting lists to get into them, and so that's just continuing to grow, and I think it does. It certainly helps with their wins, but another thing I've noticed too is a lot of our member teams have been breaking records this year, passing records, receiving records. I just put out there a few minutes ago one of our. I'm really proud to say it's again, we're not taking credit for it. I'm proud for them. But Ed White High School, who's been a longtime member up in the Jacksonville area, they just broke apparently the single season scoring record as a team, and so they just posted that out on X just a few minutes before we came on air, and so that's awesome. And I think these teams are really, like I said, finding ways to maximize their off seasons by being part of our association.
No, absolutely.
So I came from Texas. A lot of people know. One of the things unique about Texas is they're the pioneers of the 7-on-7 game. What kind of influence have you taken from the Texas 7-on-7 over the years? I know they started back in I think the 90s with the state tournament. They also have their state qualifying tournament as well. What kind of influence have you had with the Texas model?
Well, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking it. We've taken a lot of influence from it, actually, especially in the early years. Texas has been a great model for high school 7-on-7 and teams being able to do it, with their teammates. It's a little bit different. A lot of people maybe don't realize this, but I've talked to Texas coaches over the years and talked to, some of the directors of the Texas 7-on-7 Association. And one rule that they have it's one of the things that makes what we have here in Florida unique, but the high school coaches can't actually coach in those tournaments. They have to find other people outside to actually run the teams. I'm sure they have some level of organization, but that's one thing that we're able to do here in Florida, which is great, is really, our coaches that once they join us as a third party association, and so their kids, they can be really hands-on, and they can coach and work on the skill work and skill development and strategies and schemes that they want to run in the fall and to help prepare for it. But certainly, like you said, I mean, the model, they are the flagship for 7-on-7. Their state tournament has been going on for well over 20 years now. And when we first started, we modeled a lot of things after it. And we continue to watch because they really do set the trend out there. So it's been great, to follow what they do.
No, absolutely. And as you see here on the screen, I've got the Florida High School 7v7 Association website up. One of the big things here that you've done, you've kind of gotten into here the last couple of years, is the girls side of it, to offer girls flag football. Obviously, they're 7-on-7 too, in terms of their season when they play in the regular season. But there's also the growth of the game on that side. Talk about that, what y'all done there on that side. You've got, as you know, it's the growth takes time, and we saw that on obviously the boys' side. Obviously, it's grown so much now. Now here's the girls' side. What is it about the girls' side and working with that and growing that side of it?
Yeah, Josh, we're really excited about what we're able to offer for the girls. We're basically finishing up our second year of offering the girls, and like you said, and we've been very upfront about it. It's slow to get going, and it was the same way with the boys. I think the first year with the boys, we had 7 teams that took a leap of faith to join our association that very first year back in 2015, and then the next year I think we might have had 23, and then it went up to 32, and we're kind of having the same trend with the girls. As word gets out and coaches, understand what we're there to offer, and that they see what we've been able to, how we've been able to serve the boys side for the last 12 years. It's really starting to catch some momentum. We're getting more and more calls and more interest each year. And so, yeah, I mean, we offer the girl, it's very similar to what we offer the boys. The girls can join the association as a team with their coaches from their high school that they play at, and they can practice in the off season, and they can also participate in games with informal games with other member teams, which this year we've gotten more of. We've had some teams down there in the Heartland area, down in Highlands County and in the Tampa area, that have taken advantage of that and gotten together and scheduled some games to throw with. We're looking forward to having a tournament in January, right before the FHSAA season starts, in February. So kind of to wrap up the off season, and then we're looking to have multiple tournaments next summer to offer the girls to really, dive 100% into it. But that's our goal, is to be able to serve the girls just as much as we've served the boys. That sport is growing so much, and it's exciting. I used to be a girls flag football coach at Palatka High School when we started that program down there many years ago. And at that point, I think it was maybe year 3 of the FHSAA offering it. And it's been amazing to watch that sport explode across the state of Florida and really across the country. I talked to more and more coaches across different states that just said, all they keep mentioning, girls flag football is just everywhere. And just, picking up and catching momentum, which is really cool to see. And kind of like, you referred to earlier about Texas being the model for boys 7-on-7, for the last 20 years. I think people will look back and say Florida was the model for girls flag football and how it's taken off interscholastically across the country. So that's really cool. I'm glad we're able to be a part of it.
No, absolutely. And as you can see there on the screen, those are the current state champions from the previous season. Vanguard winning that state championship. Also, the battle lines, y'all, for the battle lines, which is the lineman side of things. There's something for everybody here, which is what one of the big things I like what y'all do. It's not just for the skill guys. It's also for the hog mollies on the line.
Yeah, it's we want to make it a whole team experience. And battle lines is something we started probably about 7 or 8 years ago. It's something that we've offered at our state championship tournament. But over the last couple of years, more and more teams have joined their linemen, and getting them involved in the off season as well. And there's been a demand for us to offer battle lines lineman challenges at our regional tournaments. So last year we started that. We kind of piloted that at a couple of our regional tournaments, and it was really popular. And so we're excited about doing that. And this year, when we have our 7 regional tournaments, we're going to have battle lines at each one of them. So we're really excited about that. It's always such a fun time. I know you've seen it firsthand. The kids get really fired up. The parents that are out there and spectators, it seems to be usually at the state championship, when that's going on for those couple hours, it's like all the attention goes to it, and it's really exciting and a lot of fun. And so I'm really excited about the direction that's going in.
No, absolutely here. And of course, if you see that the pictures that the villages, they've been in the village, y'all been in the villages for a while. Obviously, it was at the polo grounds for a while. And then when the new high school opened, everything moved over to the new high school. Talk about the transition there. I mean, obviously been there now for a couple years now at the new high school down there in the Middleton part. And you're able to do a lot more. You've got, there's so much more room that in terms of being doing with the games and being able to play actually inside the stadium there at the villages.
Well, the village's new complex and new high school is just an amazing facility, and Coach Pettis and all the staff and administrators down there are just first class and give us a first class experience, as hosts. So we love going down there. And you're right. It's such an expansive facility. It's hard to find, a place that has, I want to say that there's 12 full fields that we can participate on for 7-on-7 when we're there. And so we can host, 64 to 72 teams throughout a weekend there easily and very comfortably. And then, of course, like you mentioned, we're able to use the stadium and their field, their press box, and that whole complex is very college-like, for lack of a better term. And so we love going down there. And as long as they'll have us, we're going to continue to go there. And I think the teams that come in feel like it's an awesome experience to be there, especially when there's so many other schools that are there at the same time. There's a lot of energy around it. And so we love going there.
No, absolutely. And Will, just kind of give people some insights of what's ahead for the 2026 season for y'all, and especially with the state championship tournament for down at the Villages. When do you have a date set in stone yet for when that's going to happen?
Yeah, so we haven't really broadcast this. You're probably airing this first. We haven't posted this on the website, but it's coming soon. We're just kind of finalizing some of the details. But we, and I'll just take a second and pause and kind of say this. We're a member-driven association. We always have been. We really rely on our teams and our coaches that are part of our association to really kind of influence us and guide us in the direction that they want us to go, so that we can serve them the best. And so, it's something, kind of that coupled with looking at, some models like Texas has done, in the past, as you referred to earlier. We're always looking to recreate and make the best version of ourselves that we can to serve the high schools that are out there. So anyway, that being said, we polled our coaches at the state championship last year, and then we sent out some surveys to our member coaches here during the off season to get their feedback on it. And we are going to take a step this year and move our state championship from the third weekend in June to the last weekend in April, which is a big move. It's something that we've considered.
Oh, wow. That is a big move.
It's something we've considered for a while. And it's just one of those things. There's a lot of factors that have gone into it. And really, again, it goes back to serving the high schools in the best way we can. But we feel that it offers a couple things. One, as you, I'm sure, know, June is a very busy month for high schools as the college recruiting world has continued to grow and grow and grow and change and evolve. June is just a busy month of high school players going to mega camps and going on college tours, and these high schools setting up bus tours around the Southeast and other parts. And so just year after year, we found more and more teams having conflicts with scheduling because, whether it's a scheduled 7-on-7 or a football camp at a college that they planned on going to already, or, last minute, quarterback who's a prospect at a school gets invited to a camp and their quarterback, has to, up and leave, or a couple of star players have to up and leave to go to college camps that are, on the same weekend. We just felt like that was one reason that, we would get away from that conflict and kind of give June back to the high schools and back to the colleges to do what they needed to do. That was one thing, kind of going along with that college theme. Going the last weekend of April is during the NCAA, visitation and scouting period on their calendar. Now, FCS and Division I schools can't, come to 7-on-7s. They're not able to legally come to those. But the smaller divisions, which with the portal and NIL are now a much bigger factor, and that landscape's changing. That's a whole conversation we could have. But anyway, NAIA Division III, Division II schools and JUCOs could come and actually be on site and see that, because that's during their observation period and visitation period under the NCAA calendar, and it has always been for the NAIA calendar. So our hope is that we're able to, and our goal is that we're going to, reach out to these colleges and invite them so that they could, basically kick off the spring football season, with a one-stop shop, if you will, where they could see 48 to 64 high school teams that first weekend right before, spring football starts the following week. and they can kind of check out everybody in one place at one time, and then set up, follow-up visits onto their campuses, throughout the rest of spring football and into May. So we feel like that's an opportunity that's there for us. And, then, you've been, like I said, the third thing is simple, and that's Mother Nature. And we've, had to fight Mother Nature with that June date, whether it be the 100 plus temperatures or the afternoon thunderstorms that, interrupt, or even morning thunderstorms that interrupt, and lightning delays that we've had to deal with, going that third week in June. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, April will be a little bit more forgiving weather-wise as well. So we are going to do that. So it'll be April 25th. And the second part to that we're going to change, and this again was feedback that we got from, this was basically overwhelming feedback that we got from our member teams and participating teams at the state, was we've always done for 12 years one full division, where whether you were a rural school up to a 7A school, you played against each other, and it was the luck of the draw and the seeding. So we're going to break it into two divisions. I kind of say this with a smile, kind of wait to see what FHSAA finally calls their classifications or finalizes that as. But basically, we're going to divide it in half and go into the lower half, smaller half of the classifications into one division, and the larger half into the other division. So whether that's rural to 3A and then 4A to 7A, or whatever it ends up turning out to be, it'll be split in half. And so we'll basically be crowning two state champions at this year's tournament. And then we also hope we'd started last year. This is one of those things Mother Nature, took a bite out of us on, but we also wanted to offer the FHSAA state championship for them, which we squeezed in on the second day last year after the weather. But we're looking to do that again at some point, and we're working with those teams right now to find out when the best date would be to serve them. So anyway, we're excited about all of that. That's something that's going to be a big change for us, but we're looking forward to.
Oh, that's really impressive there. And Chris, I don't know. I think you may have waited. You got one more question, Chris?
I do actually. The 2028 Olympics are coming up around the corner in Los Angeles. Flag football is part of the games there, and recently the NFL has announced that they're going to start a flag football league for boys, for men and women, professionally. What's your thoughts on the Olympics being part of the 7-on-7 experience?
Well, I think that, it's exciting. It's exciting that the girls as well as the boys. I mean, flag football has always been something that's been, big, at the adult level. And then now, as I'd mentioned, and as I know you guys talk about all the time with your coverage of girls flag, has become huge at the youth and the high school level across the state of Florida and everywhere else. So it's really exciting to see it go to the Olympics. It's exciting to see, colleges start to offer scholarship money for these young ladies that want to go on and extend their career. And so for the boys side as well, I mean, it's another opportunity for kids to get out there and play as a team. The boys flag game is a little bit different than the high school. It doesn't translate exactly the same over to the high school football, side as maybe traditional 7-on-7 does. But at the same point in time too, there's a ball, they're running routes, they're catching the ball, they're trying to defend it. And some of the skill sets definitely match up. So anytime these kids can get on a big stage and get recognized for it, I think it's awesome. And certainly the Olympics is the premier athletic, event in the world. So for that to get out there and possibly some kids from Florida, represent the United States on a world level, I think it's amazing. And so, I'm excited to follow it and watch it.
Absolutely. And everybody can go they can go to FH7V7A.com to learn more, basically. And if for the teams that are watching that's where you go and sign up at.
Yep, that's where you go sign up at FHS7V7A.com. You can reach out to us on X and send us a DM, or you can send us an email at info@fhs7v7a.com, or our phone number is on the website as well. You can reach out to us as well to get more information. Like I said, we had 150 high schools last year, and would love to expand that this year even more. But we're here to serve, and always looking to help these kids have a great experience in their high school career, and we hope just to be a small part of that.
Absolutely. Well, we'll appreciate you taking some time out to talk about the Florida High School 7v7 Association, and looking forward to what the 2026 season is going to bring for the association.
Well, Josh, thank you guys for having me on. It's always a pleasure to sit down and talk with y'all. I know tomorrow is going to be an exciting day to see what teams get into the playoffs, and it's been already an exciting week with the FHSAA and the Pay Florida Coaches Association. Up there in Tallahassee and doing their thing and supporting coaches. So right now is a really exciting time in high school football, and I'm glad we were able to all be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to this offseason.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate it, and take care, man.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right. That was Will Dettor from the Florida High School 7v7 Association, and then as you see here, Chris, a lot of influence from Texas has come here to Florida. And it's great for these teams to be able to have a scholastic version of being able to do that and keep their guys being able to, hey, don't, a lot of these coaches, there's been coaches that have told their guys, you go play for that all-star team, you might as well just go ahead and leave the team.
Yeah, and some of these football players, they can go on and play flag football, and 7-on-7 directly would go through that. And It's nice to see 7-on-7 grow as a sport, because it helped the kid learn the playbook early.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, again, it's exciting, and to hear about the change that's coming up this year. I can attest to that. Mother Nature definitely has a hand in it here and everything with that. But let's take a quick break, and then we'll wrap up the show here. And then we've got the Panhandle edition of Blitz coming up here after this. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this here on the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with a free ScoreStream mobile app. Download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Get ready for the 2026 Coach of the Year Clinics. This February and March, see top collegiate coaches, learn from the best, and take your program to the next level. Don't miss America's most respected coaching clinics.
welcome back here to the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz as we wrap this thing up here. And by the way, looks like I got a question right in the chat here. But meanwhile, I was really trying to do my best poker face, Chris, while I was during the interview because the chat was going off. I was really trying not to bust out laughing, but I did get a question right. And it looks like that Emery put on the thing. It says, "Here's a geographical historical question." It was for Mark, but you know what? I knew this. Once I give it a thought for a moment, which Spanish conquistador is the only person to have 2 Florida counties named after him? And that's Hernando de Soto, who has Hernando County and De Soto County named after him.
Yep.
So, hey, Winston James, I was wondering where you were at. You finally pop up in the chat. I know you're busy, probably, but anyways, boy. That'll be an interview. That interview with Will. We'll be able to reuse that interview later when we go on the holiday break. We'll do some of the best of our interviews during the holidays, and that way, y'all can still kind of go relive some high school football interviews while we, go open Christmas presents during late December into the new year and do all that good stuff. Or, you celebrate Hanukkah, that same thing too. So, hey, whatever holiday you celebrate during December, we're all for it. So, but first we got to get through the best part of November, and that's playoff football and turkey.
Got that right.
Yeah, as Mr. Gobbler says. By the way, I'm excited because this year we will have you know what we'll have again? Turkey gobblers.
Yep.
We'll sign the number of turkeys from 5 turkeys to 1 turkey on the playoffs. Like Mr. Tom Turkey will issue those ratings as we go through the playoffs for that playoff week. I believe Chris, the way it's going, the way the calendar is set, the weekend. The Thanksgiving weekend will be regional finals.
Oh yeah, and that's a very interesting time of year.
It definitely is. With that said, but it's time to wrap it up. We've got the Panhandle edition of the Blitz coming up. We'll probably come on about 9:50 with that, and because we ran over a little bit, but it was a great interview with Will Dettor of the Florida High School 7v7 Association. It looks like a lot of y'all now got a better understanding of what they do, and it's good for the teams and then good for them to be able to develop. And I like what they're going to be doing here. So, but we'll talk more about that as we go on. But we'll be back here in just a few minutes for the Panhandle edition of the Blitz here on FloydHSFootball.com and FloydHSFootball.com social media handles. We'll see you in a few minutes.